And he was turned out to be 60. And I was like, oh, okay.
Usually people think like, oh, anxious or needy.
Like, just bang someone, get their dick out, suck it, have a good time. Welcome to Let's Talk About with Lily and Lou, the podcast in which we are going to discuss with you all the things that multidimensional women in the 21st century go through in hopes that we can break some taboos together. But first, every episode, we are going to start with a confession corner because Lou and I have actually never met in real life. We've only ever met over the internet. So we're like modern day priestess. And that's why we are going to do a confession corner with you. Let's dive in deep. Today, I'm going to start with my confession.
Are you starting?
Yes, I'm starting because I just want to get it out, you know? Okay, so I flirted with a 60-year-old. Saying it all. Am I sharing this? Fuck. Yeah. I don't actually think
age doesn't matter.
Exactly. Age is just a number, baby. So yeah, I flirted with a 60-year-old and I wasn't mad about it, you know? Like nothing happened beyond that, but I would not have been against something happening. And that was a new thing for me. I've never like hooked up with someone that's that much older. For the people who don't know, I'm 27. So the age difference quite big. And like my first boyfriend was a little bit older than I was, 10 years. So I am like, well, I know how it is to date someone older, but I've never tried to date someone who is 30 years older. And now I was like, oh, I would definitely hook up with you.
I feel like I need some context, but
yeah, I'll give it to you later. No, there's not a lot of other context in this. I'm not going to lie. This is just a story, like just a very handsome man. And I was like, oof, I wouldn't mind that, you know? And he was turned out to be 60. And I was like, oh, okay. Okay, daddy, tell me more.
Oh, no.
It was like, let me vomit in the corner, please.
Did you just say daddy? Oh my God.
Okay, I think it's your turn. I think I've been on the bench long enough.
I think I'm gonna lower the bar a little bit. Mine's not as fun, but yeah. Was at party for her birthday last weekend. Took a bit of special candy.
Okay. Okay.
You know what I mean? Still haven't looked up whether or not I can say this stuff online. So I was just like, okay,
maybe
cool.
If I say it.
Do you want to say it?
She took Molly, guys. She took Molly. And she didn't say it out loud, so no one can do anything about it. I said it out loud. Well, good for you.
I'm a little paranoid, okay? I don't want
Yes.
to get in trouble. I don't know what I'm allowed
That's
to
how
say.
I know you.
But thank you for saying it for me.
You are
That's
welcome.
cool.
Got you back, bro.
Yes. But anyway, as a lot of you already know, I like to talk when I'm high.
Surprise.
Nobody can stop me. I am talking to everyone. I am doing everyone's birth chart. I'm taking everyone's email to do their birth chart the next time I'm sober. Actually remember as well, I was inviting I had just met these people that night. I'm inviting everyone to my birthday in 3 weeks as well. I haven't even planned anything. I'm like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Do you want to come? Yes. Are you free? Yes.
Yes, I've got your email. I'll email you the invitation.
Yeah. Yeah. And I could not remember half of that. Some of it, but like, you know, episodes. And then, a couple of days later, another mate just said like, oh my God, I had never seen you talking this much. And I'm just like, I have no idea what half of the things I said.
Okay, so some people get super cuddly and you get super talkative. Okay.
And
it's
good though. I'm happy. Makes me happy.
Should that be my next confession? Maybe I should wait for that for the next episode. I've never done drugs. Other than alcohol.
Really?
We need to do an episode on drugs, but okay.
Actually, it would be interesting. Yeah, it's very new for me. But yeah, it's a sidetrack. What are we talking about today, Louie?
Today, we are talking about attachment styles. And if you don't know what that is, wait a second. Lou's going to explain it to you in a second. I'm super excited for this episode because attachment styles changed my life. Not gonna lie. And
Likewise.
I feel like this episode is going to turn into a book club because Lou and I both have the book called Attachment Styles and we both read it. So yeah, basically this is a book review.
Actually, I think I recommended it to you, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
It's also when we first started talking and stuff.
Yes.
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 My
So
God.
for everyone listening now, go read this book. It is amazing. It will change your life, or at least it will give you an insight on how you are as a person. Tell me, what are attachment styles, Lou?
Yes, Lily. I'm going to read the back of the book. So we'll put it in the show notes, right? But it's called Attached by Amir Levine and Rachel Heller. And it's called The New Science of Adult Attachment and How It Can Help You Find and Keep Love. So basically it says we rely on science to tell us everything from what to eat to when and how long to exercise. But what about relationships? Is there a scientific explanation for why some people seem to navigate relationships effortlessly while others struggle? According to psychiatrist and neuroscientist Dr. Amir Levine and Rachel Heller, the answer is a resounding yes. So they both reveal the most advanced relationship science in existence today that can help us in our love lives, basically. I believe it's also helping us in our any interactions, like with your family or with your friends and stuff like that. Because I've had not issues, but like you can tell if your best friend has a different attachment style than you, that like, yeah,
100%.
Needs are not going to be met the same way. So you have to adapt. Yeah. Which is basically the point of this podcast as well. Help you understand kind of like who or what you are, but don't get attached to a label. It's just to understand your behavior, know that it's not, that it's flexible. It depends on each people.
And also I feel like understanding other people's behavior, like how are they going to react to something I do and how does that relate to their attachment style and how can I make sure that it doesn't affect me in a negative way. And also it can help you pick your friends. It can help you pick your circle. Like, how do you want to interact with people and what kind of people do I want to surround me?
Yeah.
So I think it's different aspects as well. Definitely, for sure. Yeah.
I definitely agree.
And which attachment styles are there?
Yes. So there were, let me make sure I count right. There are 4. We've got secure, which is 50% of the population. So most of the people out there, right? And secure people feel comfortable with intimacy and are usually warm and loving. It's like consistency, reliable.
Well, I picked that one. I want to be that one.
And you can.
Yes.
There you go.
I got it. If only it was that easy. Okay, what others?
If only it were that easy. Don't interrupt me. Okay. Anxious, which are 20% of the population, are people that are often preoccupied. I would even maybe say obsessed sometimes with their relationships and tend to worry about their partner's ability to love them back. I'm still reading the back of the book, by the way. And then we've got avoidant, which are 25% of the population. And those equate intimacy with a loss of independence and constantly try to minimize closeness. So avoiding closeness, basically.
That sounds
needing
so
a lot
much
of space.
It sounds so much like what a lot of people say these days. Like, I'm scared of commitment. I have a fear for commitment. And then they're like, oh yeah, so I date someone. And then after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, I feel like I'm getting like suffocated and I need out. I think those are different words for people to say like, I'm an avoidant person or I have an avoidant attachment style. And I feel like when people know, instead of saying like, I have a fear of commitment, they can own up to the fact that they have an avoidant attachment style. Then you actually have tools on how to change it in case you want to, because I feel like probably also some people who don't want to.
So first of all, there's an extra 5% I didn't mention, which are a mix of the two, the very lucky few that are both anxious and avoidant.
Great.
Yeah, which will make them act differently depending on what kind of partner they attract or how serious the relationship is getting, that kind of stuff. But overall, from what you were saying, everyone wants intimacy and closeness at some point.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about people that know they want like a casual relationship, that kind of stuff, but like everyone is eventually looking to be close to someone.
Yeah.
And for
Some
example,
sort of
even,
connection.
yeah, usually people think like, oh, anxious or needy. No,
Yeah.
they just have different needs than you. That doesn't make their needs not valid. I learned
Exactly.
that. But yeah,
Yes.
and they see avoidance as people that do not want to commit. They don't want a relationship.
The cool
No,
ones.
they want the same thing, but they don't know why they need that space, or why they need so much distance, or why they feel overwhelmed and I would still say anxious from people getting close to them.
And
Basically, it's just a
how does an
different way
attachment
to react.
style how does an attachment style develop? Like where does it come from? I know my attachment style, like my attachment style used to be super secure. And then I went through a few relationships that went sour. And I can really feel that now while I'm dating. I'm on the mend after reading this book, but I can really look back at relationships and think, damn, I was anxious. And because the people that I was dating at that time were not in line with it, they couldn't recognize that. And the only thing that happens, I was pushing them away further because they were avoidant.
Mm.
I can now see that. But back then I was just like, oh no, if I hold tight enough, like then they'll stay. But that's not how it is. Like you need to recognize your behavior. So I now
Yeah.
know that my attachment style at the moment is anxious. And I also know that it can change. Like I'm working on going towards secure. But I also feel that, or if I look at my own history of dating, I know that with certain people, they bring out certain things in me. So if someone's super
Triggering.
avoidant, yes, exactly. They trigger me.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone's super avoidant, I get super anxious. And if someone's secure, they just don't put up with my anxious bullshit. And they're just like, nope, everything's okay. This is going to be fine. You'll
They
be
know
fine.
how to make you feel safe or secure.
Exactly.
Actually, exactly. Well,
exactly.
It's funny because they're usually secure or able to find either other secure people, or if they pair up with anxious or avoidant, they're able to give them what they need because they are secure.
Yeah.
The rest of the population has this weird push and pull between anxious and avoidant because they're exactly opposite, and opposites attract.
Yes.
And it can work, but I was rereading this book, actually read this today, and it's like, it does say that the anxious need to sacrifice some of their needs, or their need for closeness to make sure that the partner is,
but
okay
only in case
that
they're
distance.
dating, but only in case they're dating an avoidant person.
Yes, definitely.
Yes. So it's basically, it's what are you willing to sacrifice? Like how much, if
put
you're
up
looking
with,
for, if you're looking for a partner, how much are you willing to give? And is this,
if it's early enough, they recommend to like get out basically, and like they give us, which we will give you now as well. I'll answer your question first, but like, give us as well the signs to recognize like what most signs are for anxious and for avoidance. And then when you realize, like, notice those signs, if you're on a date or that kind of stuff, someone says, oh, I'm really not ready for commitment. Oh, red flag. But you can't really just pick one. You need to see a few different things to make sure.
Exactly.
You can't just, it's not about just categorizing people and labeling people, labeling people either. Labeling, like sometimes different people, actually I put that one there. Yeah, don't forget, we can all relate to one or more attachment styles, and they're fluid. They can change based on who we are with.
Yeah.
Just like, someone you may meet tomorrow will make you more and more secure because they will make you feel like your needs aren't non-valid, that they make you feel like your needs are valid, which is true.
But then, and that will
make you feel more secure.
Side question then, because I feel like if I'm an anxious person, someone can make me more secure by being secure. Can someone also make me avoidant?
Oh, interesting question.
Because I was thinking,
I wouldn't say never.
That, it like in my head how it works, because I'm an anxious person, or when it comes to dating, I'm an anxious person. in my opinion, or how I see it, when someone's avoidant, they don't like you enough. But maybe that's the romanticized version of how it is in my head. Like if I don't like someone enough, I get distant, I get avoidant, I need space. I'm kind of
Mm,
like pulling away. So
yeah.
is that, could you
It,
then say that I'm an avoidant person because I don't like that person enough?
so it's funny because the way that they talk about avoidance, avoidant need that space and like pull away when things get go well or like
Yeah.
get more serious is because you're becoming the closest person to them. They are liking you
Okay.
more and more. So it's the opposite from what
Yeah.
I'm understanding from the book. So I
Yeah.
wouldn't say you wouldn't be able to be avoidant, but I don't know if this is
Yeah. Okay. So it's not
relating
real.
basically.
Exactly. Then I don't
Yeah.
think it's related. It just means that I don't like them
Mm.
enough.
Yeah, that might just be that as well.
That might
And
be the
I never
case.
replied to your first question
Yes. Where
on
does it
where does
come
it
from?
come from? And you said your past relationships. Yes, that is one. It can change, and it comes also
Mm-hmm.
from usually your childhood. So like love languages, if you could do another time or something. Basically, your caregivers, caretakers, your parents. It depends on how they responded to your needs when you were a kid, which
Yeah.
all of our parents kind of usually fuck up one way or another because it's really hard to understand
It's hard.
your child needs, and no one should be blamed for that.
Exactly.
Um, but for example, if you were cared for, like, and your needs were cared for, you would more likely be secure. While if someone was, well, for example, okay, just throwing my little thing out there. So I am anxious avoidant. I'm the 5%, or I was anyway.
We've got a
I don't know.
unicorn on our hands.
I've been feeling a bit more secure actually, and I because I have read that book and I can identify now whenever I've got an activating anxious strategy or an avoidance strategy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, usually in my past people I've met, not relationships, but yeah, I usually get anxious straight away. Like,
Yeah.
oh, why are they not messaging me enough? Why am I left on red? Like I used to block people last year after like being left on red for 24 hours. Like I was going crazy to like just, it's called protest behavior.
Yeah.
And if they like me, I'm like, whoa, why the fuck do you like me? Go away. It's a bit like that. And
Yeah.
so, for example, in my family, my mom was very present and I needed space a little bit. I was the eldest and I wanted to do my own thing. I had to like
Yeah.
break the rules, like to get out of the house, make friends, go out, like the first child. They don't
Exactly.
always know like what kind of freedom you give when you're a teenager, that kind of stuff as
Mm-hmm.
well. So like, yeah, my mom was very, very present and I needed that. And my dad wasn't.
Yeah.
Even when he was there, he wasn't really. So that made me anxious because I craved his presence while
Yeah.
she made me a bit avoidant. If that makes sense, that's how I understood myself.
Yeah.
So it
It
comes from your
does.
caregivers and then from relationships, for example, like Lily, or even worse than that, like toxic relationship, narcissistic behaviors and stuff like that can make you, well, avoidant or anxious because it comes from the same fear of abandonment. You're going to
Yeah.
push people away when you're avoidant because you're afraid that they abandon you. So it's like you don't deserve that, you deserve the love that they want to give you. So you're
Yeah.
going to push it before they take it away from you, which is doesn't make sense, but that's just how
How it
psychology is
works. Yeah.
sometimes. And anxious are the opposite. It's like, oh my God, I'm afraid to lose them. I need to stay close to them. And
Yeah.
it makes some people, especially avoidant, go crazy. Because yeah, it can go to like codependency, obsessive behavior a little in
Yeah.
like at the worst, or in when some behaviors are triggering.
Yeah. But I guess that's good news because it does mean that it can change over the course of your life. It does mean that it
Mm.
doesn't have to, like, you're not fully dependent on what your caregivers gave you. Like if you're saying like, okay, it can change over the course of relationships, it can change when you meet a new partner, someone can influence your attachment style. Also, obviously reading about it and being aware of it can change it. So I think that's
Yeah.
a very positive one. Definitely for people who crave closeness. Like I was talking to this person the other day, he was saying, it was a guy, and he was saying like he's now married. Before he like was together with someone, he said he had like a few failed relationships where they were dating, everything was fine. And then after like 1 or 2 months, he would feel like, oh my gosh, well, I'm
Mm,
focusing on everything that she does wrong and I don't like where this is going. So I'm going to break it
ooh,
off. Yes. So like that sounds super avoidant, like just
avoidance.
very
Yeah, I was gonna
exactly.
say it.
It's getting too close. I'm going to drop it. I'm just going to focus on all the bad things and then I'll just not
Mm,
like you anymore. Um, it came to the point where he was like, well, I thought that there was something wrong with me. Like I did want a relationship and I did want to have like a family, wanted to get married, I wanted to have children. And so he went to see a therapist because he was like, okay, I don't know how to change this, but I do want
mm,
to have a partner. And not saying that therapy is the only way to get it to change your attachment style,
no.
but in this case for him it really worked, and now he found someone that really met his needs and really didn't trigger his attachment style, which is why he became a secure person and is now in a happy marriage. So yeah, I think understanding is key to
Sometimes,
this.
yeah,
Yeah,
just understanding your behavior, bringing awareness to it is
yeah,
that's what I do as well. It's key to like, yeah, I believe nothing is set in stone
yeah,
and you can just
no,
make things
exactly.
happen, but you have some work to do. And this is the first step is awareness. What
Yes.
do you relate to? So
And talking
maybe
about awareness, maybe it is good to go over a few characteristics of the different attachment styles because,
you read my
yeah,
mind.
well, yay, so in tune. Great minds think alike.
Yes.
So I
I'll
think
just
it's
read a
good to like
couple.
set
I
them
did
apart.
save it.
Yeah,
So yeah, they say like common anxious thoughts, emotion, and reactions. Um, Wait, is this what I saved? Sorry, my bad. No,
that's
that's
okay.
not it. There we
Book
go.
club
No,
meeting
activating
on.
strategies.
Yes.
Um, Thinking about the other person all the time, difficulty concentrating on other things, only remembering their good qualities, putting them on a pedestal, believing this is your only chance for love. Like you don't believe there's other fish in the sea. It's like it's this person or no one else.
Yeah.
Um, Believing that even though you're unhappy, you'd better not let go because they can change, or all couples have problems. We're not special, that kind of stuff. Um, if he or she leaves me, they'll turn into a great partner for someone else. It's just it's believing that you don't deserve it, that you're not enough and that your
Basically,
needs aren't
yeah.
valid. And then the avoidant one, they say deactivating strategies, saying or thinking, I'm not ready to commit.
Yes.
Followed that one before or been that one before. Um, Focusing on the small imperfections in your partner. So sometimes devaluing your partner, for example, and
Mhm.
allowing it to get in the way of your feelings, which then is like pining after an ex,
Yeah,
remembering good qualities of an ex when they used to probably devalue their ex the same way. But once it's over, it's like, oh, actually, they were the one.
that was
It's very
perfect. Yeah.
weird. Pulling away when things are going well, not calling for several days or messaging, that kind of stuff. Checking
Playing
out mentally when
games.
your partner is talking to you, keeping secrets, avoiding physical closeness, and yeah, believing in the one as well. But then your partner can never be the one. The one you're with is
Exactly.
like, oh no, there's someone better somewhere.
There's a
Yeah,
unicorn out
there's
there.
like a myth. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
little bit weird. But then we've got secure,
Wee.
which are available. They respond sensitively to the distress of others, allow them to be dependent on you when they feel the need, check in with them from time to time, provide comfort, allow them to do their own thing without trying to take over the situation, micromanage or undermine their confidence, and they provide encouragement. They're accepting of their learning and personal growth goal, boost their self-esteem, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well, that sounds
basically
good.
avoid it. Oh, sorry. Yes.
I'm sticking with my choice. I want to be secure.
Don't we all? Yeah.
It sounds good.
Well, we
So
can
yeah,
all get there. That's
so
awareness.
exactly. And if you want, of course, because
Mm.
there's two things that you said when it came to the anxious one. First of all, the thinking that personally for me, that's a big one. Thinking that there won't be someone as good a match for you out there, which is such
Yeah.
a
I
stupid
was there.
thought because there's so many people, and I don't necessarily believe in the one. I feel like there's a lot of people who are that you're compatible with. It's just a matter of deciding who is the most compatible and which one do you choose, like, and then stick with your choice.
Yeah,
Or in
you
my
can
case,
always make it work if you both want to.
exactly, that it's a
Starting to
choice.
believe. Yeah.
Yes, that first of all, and then you said another thing. Um, oh, I don't remember.
For the anxious one?
Yeah, for the anxious.
Um, the good qualities pedestal, thinking about them, that it can change.
Oh yeah, he can change. That is such
He or she, by the way.
he or she,
It's just the
exactly.
example that's written down here, right?
Or them.
Yes,
and
my bad.
In this case, like, thinking that you can change someone, it has to be something that they want. Because I heard the other day someone say, like, okay, think about, for an instance, everyone on the 1st of January, you're like, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to eat healthy. I'm going to change my diet. I'm going to be a healthy, fit girl, boy. And then they really want it. Like, they really feel like, okay, I've prepared for this. I'm going to do it. And how many people still want that or still go to the gym after like 1 month, 2 months, 3 months?
Or 2 days, even sometimes.
2 days, exactly. Some people like show up on January 1st and don't show up on January 2nd. So, but those are all people who really, really want to change. And they cannot, they are not able to keep up with it. So imagine trying to change someone else who's not willing to change, who doesn't know there is a problem. How are you going to change someone like that? You can't. You can't change someone else unless they really want it. You can help them, or you can assist them, and you can really like push them to be greater, but you can't make that initial spark for them. You can't like force them to change. And this is like one of my anxious things that I've tried to do in the past. And it doesn't work. I promise you, I'm telling you now, if you are in a situation like that, get out. It won't work. I'm sorry to say.
And it's like what Florence Given says is, women don't owe you pretty. Like, I cannot stress this enough. Like, you are not a startup investor. You cannot invest in someone's potential. And how unfair it is to someone to be like, I know you can be better. So you actually don't like them the way they are as well. That's not okay. Yeah, I don't think that's okay.
True. For both ways, it's
you
not
get with someone because you like them and you can believe in them, but you can't like the potential of someone, but not where they are at right now. That's
exactly. You can't want to change their whole foundation. They have to either do that by themselves or stay like that and find someone who does like their foundation, basically. So yeah, now we know where our style comes from.
Sorry, just finish on that. They say you got to find someone that complements you, not completes you.
Exactly. It's like yin and yang,
taking care of their own shit.
Yes.
Everyone's doing their own thing, and you come together sharing the good and sometimes the bad. But yes.
Exactly.
Okay.
So now that we know what our attachment styles are, where they come from, what the characteristics are, you probably, as a listener, also kind of have a hint of an idea what your attachment style might be. And maybe you're also thinking about things in the past in relationships where you've gone wrong, or where you feel the other person crossed the line and pushed your attachment style and kind of triggered your attachment style. Maybe how can we navigate this? How can you like recognize someone attach his or her attachment style, and how can you navigate it while dating or having a relationship with someone, or being friends with them?
That doesn't work like a drum roll, or
I was like, what are you doing?
Well, I know, that's why I didn't tell you. Sorry, guys. I would say, just like in every relationships ever, effective communication. And so in the book, they actually talk about the 5 principles of effective communication, which are: wear your heart on your sleeve, be genuine and honest. Focus on your needs, using verbs such as need, feel, want, which focus on what you want to accomplish and not your partner's shortcomings. Which they should be specific. You need to state precisely what's bothering you. Like when you're out with the boys and you don't message me for a couple hours, I start wondering if you're going to cheat on me, or if you're talking to other girls, that flirting with other girls, that kind of stuff, for example. So it's like giving a clear example of what you need, like a text message telling me something, whatever. It's not about being what's it called, controlling, but just expressing things that you need, because
Exactly.
you're not okay if you don't, basically.
Yeah.
And then you don't blame them though. It's not about accusing. So you're not saying, oh, you never do this for me, or you don't do this and this makes me feel shit. It's like, I need this to feel better, kind of stuff.
Yes.
And then be assertive and non-apologetic, like you said before. Your relationship, your relationships needs are valid, period.
Yeah. Facts.
Yeah.
That's it.
Most people are afraid to communicate. And if you can't communicate with your partner, that's also a sign that it's probably not the right partner.
That is so true.
Yeah. Because with the push and pull, anxious avoidant, they do say there are a lot of stories, because they're very common, where you can make it work.
It's a question of, do you want it? Do you want to make it work? Should you want to make it work?
Yeah. Because it's like, your needs are valid. Are you going to be unhappy by not receiving what you deserve?
Exactly. And I also feel like, so these effective communication things kind of relate to a further step into your relationship. So you already have a relationship with someone and you're trying to improve it. But I also feel like how you can navigate it in like the beginning, and how harsh as it might sound, I feel like how you can implement these are ask questions that make it apparent what someone's attachment style is. Like, how did they react to certain scenarios? And it doesn't have to be an interview. Now it sounds like I would go on a date and interview someone, but there's like subtle things you can ask, like, oh yeah, have you been in a relationship before? Or like, what are you looking for? Why are you dating? Blah, 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 stuff like that. And what people reply to that, listen and believe them. And
when someone shows you what they are, believe them the first time.
Exactly. They don't have to tell you 5 times. You don't have to first fall in love with them to then break your own heart because you have to walk away because your needs are not met. In the beginning, believe them when they say they cannot live up to what you need in a relationship. Believe them and get the hell out. Don't stick around.
Don't settle.
Don't settle. Don't try to change them.
When you show up for yourself and like for your needs, you will find someone that will look at your needs and be like, that's all you
exactly
need? Okay. And not like, oh my God, that's too much. You're too much. You're never too much for the right person.
Exactly. So I feel like how you can navigate it in the beginning, to summarize, is get the hell out when you feel like they cannot live up to what you need in a relationship. They cannot match your attachment style, because yes, there's going to be other people out there, and that one nice date, you're going to forget all about it after you've had one nice other first date with someone. So don't settle for someone that you already know in the beginning, or you can kind of feel like, oh yeah, they're super cute, but they said all these things that do not match what I want. Get out, let it go. It's
important to know what you want though, for that to happen as well, by the way, because that's kind of what we were talking about in our previous dating apps thing. Most people don't know what they want, so it's important to know what you want, so you can look at the signs, because sometimes we lie to ourselves that we just want something casual and we actually want closeness in a relationship, and then you put that out there, you don't see the mixed signals because you've been giving mixed signals.
Yeah, it's true.
You attract what you are as well.
Maybe before you go on a date, make sure to know like your attachment style. If you're looking for something like serious, obviously, if you're just looking to hook up with someone and have a one night stand, go for it. It doesn't matter. Like, just bang someone, get their dick out, suck it, have a good time. But if you're looking for something a little bit more serious, then maybe it's a good idea to really invest for, like, it doesn't have to take forever. It can take 30 minutes. Think about like which attachment style spoke to me, which one do I feel like I show to people, and then write down like 5 things that are super important for you in a relationship. Like, the
Yeah, that's a really good one.
non-negotiable things, the non-negotiables.
Non-negotiables. Yeah, do that.
Exactly. The
Yeah.
5 non-negotiables that are at the top of
That
your
you want in a
list
partner. Yeah.
that you want in a partner, and then seek those out, ask for those. And if
Mm,
someone says something that is opposite to what one of your non-negotiables is, get out. Don't think you can change them, just get out.
yeah. That's
Yes.
true. Actually, from what you just said, I just want to like sum it up by
Mm-hmm.
saying they give the golden rules in this book about what
Yeah.
you just said. That just sums it up. Determine whether that person seeks intimacy and closeness. Assess how preoccupied they are with the relationship and how sensitive they are to rejection. Don't rely on just one symptom. Look for various signs. If someone said they're not ready for a relationship, that doesn't mean, oh my God, they're avoidant straight away. Like there can be different reasons, as in looking for something casual or just having been hurt before and kind of assessing where you're at as well. Like there can be many different reasons.
Yeah.
Assess their reaction to effective communication. So if they can't communicate with you, it's probably not going to work. You need communication. Yep. Listen, I don't know where I was, but that's okay.
4.
Listen and look for for what they are not saying or doing.
Yes.
As well.
Read
and
between
that
the lines.
is it, folks.
Yes. And also, so I feel like the last part, maybe to conclude this episode, the last part was kind of more directed towards people who are anxious. Like, how do you navigate the world if you're when you're an anxious person, instead of the avoidant ones? Because I feel like a lot of people, once they realize they're avoidant and they do have the desire to have a relationship, how can you change that? How can you change your attachment style? And this is for both.
Yeah, it's not necessarily changing your attachment style, because it's the same as anxious and avoidant people. There's nothing wrong with you. It's just that you have different needs than others. So avoidants can have really happy relationships with secure people, or anxious if they manage to make it work through effective communication, because the problem with anxious and avoidant is they fundamentally want different things. Anxious wants closeness and be with their partner physically. Like it's like love languages, like they want quality time, like physical touch, that kind of stuff. Where avoidance, like, okay, bye, I need to have some space by myself.
Yeah,
so
but I don't also
through their work, through not necessarily wanting to go on holidays or that kind of stuff just with your partner. It's just saying that you need some distance sometime.
True, but I also think that, how I understood it is that people do change from their attachment style. Like if you're an avoidant person, it doesn't necessarily mean that you always are going to be an avoidant person in a relationship. You can also work on that. Same with anxious. And I feel like I think what they said that how you can change it is look for someone who you think is in a relationship that you desire to be in. So if it's a secure person, for me, for an instance, it's my parents. If I look at their relationship, I'm like, this is all I want. And I think everyone can find one person in their life, maybe your best friend, maybe just a friend, maybe like there's one person that you can observe. And whenever they are in a situation when you're like, oh, that would freak me out, see how they handle it and try to learn from that and grow from that, in case you're looking to change your attachment style and your reactions, your initial reactions to situations. Breathe.
It's like having an example.
Exactly.
You need to have an example and write down how would they react, and
take a few seconds and then think of how they would react. So yeah,
actually it's a really good one. I actually want to add, because it came in my head, I don't know, but it's like, as much as it's important, I believe it's also important to understand that every situation is unique and different, and people have different experiences and backgrounds and traumas, and you can't take. So for example, if you have friends or family members that you look up to, you can look at what they would say in their relationships, but if you ask them for advice, what they will say about your situation might be something different.
That is true.
You know what? You need to make your own opinion through what you think is secure from what you observe. And you can ask for advice, but you can't take it on as in it's the truth.
Exactly.
That's messed me up a couple of times as well.
Yes. That's a pitfall.
You listen too much to what people say. It's like, but the thing is, you're the only one that knows what's going on in the relationship with the other person. You're the
That
only
is
one
true.
behind closed door. And when you tell someone, you're already giving your perspective on that situation. Someone
Very
told me
true.
that, and I think it's you, right?
Yes, that sounds like me. It is true.
So,
It
yeah.
is true. So,
Yeah, so you're already putting that perspective, and then your
yeah.
friends or family members are giving you advice on your perspective,
Yeah.
which maybe is not even the truth at all, because that's what you are seeing from
Very true. So it's better to
situation.
stay silent, observe someone, and take the qualities that you think would benefit your relationship, other than just only reading the book and being like, okay, so this is the golden standard. I need to do this, and then I'm going to succeed in my relationship. No, you have to apply it to your situation and your relationship and change the thing that bothers you. Exactly. Well, I think this was my favorite episode so far. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, me too. Actually, really,
I
really
loved
like
it
that
so
one.
much, and I hope you guys did as well. We hope to see you in 2 weeks for our next episode, which is going to be on birth control, which is a very interesting episode for men and women. Because it involves all of us,
things, guys. I have no idea what we're going to talk about.
Yes, we're going to talk about a lot of things, and we're going to learn a lot of things. So check it out in 2 weeks. Please make sure, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, that you leave a little review, because it would help us out tremendously. And then we see you in 2 weeks. Bye.
Bye-bye.